Hey everyone, I hope you're all well. Today is World Mental Health Day, and it's a day for people to open up and talk about the problems. This is brought you today by Boohoo Man, so I'm very thankful for Boohoo Man to bringing this to everybody, and it's important to send that message out that it's okay to not be okay. Mental health is something that's affected me my whole adult life. It started when I was about 12 years of age. I started suffering with anxiety attacks at first, which seems very harmless, but being at high school, I was always the class clown. I was always the alpha male in the year. It's very hard for me to sort of admit I had a mental health problem. So instead of tackling it head on, I'd hide away. I'd ask the teacher to go to the toilet. I'd go and throw up in the toilet. I'd shake, uncontrollably. And it took me a while to sort of work out what was going on in my head. And then off the back of the anxiety attacks comes the depression, because you don't understand the anxiety attacks. And once the depression sets in, that's it. You're sort of in a snowball effect of things just get worse and worse and worse. And I struggled with this for probably two or 3 years before I decided to open up to a psychiatrist. Went to the doctors and I was prescribed Prozac and obviously deferred to a psychiatrist. And I must say that was a turning point for me. That was the point that it did start to sort of make sense, and I started then to realise that I wasn't alone. The psychiatrist made me fully aware of all the other people that she was seeing in the world. And that's the thing. You feel alone. You feel like you can't talk to people. You can't talk to your brothers, your mum, your dad, your friends, because 9 times out of 10 they just take the piss, and that's the truth. Especially 15, 20 years ago, that's how it was. For me, mental health is something that it's become a part of my life almost, and in a way I'm very thankful for going through those struggles, because it's made me into the person I am today, which is a very tough, resilient person, mentally as well as physically. So mental health it's something that, in my opinion, it can't be cured, but it can be managed. And by managed, I mean it's doing things to make you feel better, whether that be seeing a psychiatrist, whether that be taking your medications. But for me, I did all those. But for me, what made me feel better, I struggled from the age of 12 to about, I'd say 14, 15, before I decided to go to the gym. And then very slowly, every time I went to the gym, I used to walk out and get that feeling of self-worth, that euphoria. And I started to feel better. And then I realised that going to the gym was my fix. And that's what I try to relate to a lot of people out there, is everyone has a fix. I'm not saying it's going to cure it. I'm not saying it's going to, you're going to walk in the gym, do a session, and you're going to magically get rid of mental health problems. That's not what I'm saying. But that was my fix. Going to the gym and working out, that was my fix to help me vent my anger, vent my frustrations and my anxieties in the gym, and I'd feel better. Now, that fix for somebody else might be talking to a friend, going for a coffee. It might be drag racing. It might be cycling. I don't know what your fix may be. But I think the important thing is that you do not give up trying to find that fix, because everyone has a fix. Little old neighbour Doris might have a game of chess. That might be her fix. You just don't know. But it's important that you don't give up and keep pushing forward in mental health, and find your fix. If I was to give some advice to someone going through mental health right now, I think number one would be talk. I just think it's super important to get those feelings out. Let somebody know what's going on inside your head, whether it be a psychiatrist, a family member, a friend. It doesn't matter. I just think just saying those words out loud is firstly admitting something is wrong, and then you can start to process it once you've said it aloud, and sort of help someone to understand it with you. So talk is definitely something that it was helped me the most, just talking. Second, honestly, relax. I think that's such an important one, is relax, because when it kicked in for me at 12 years of age, it was high school grades. It was all the pressure on, I was a competitive swimmer. It was all the pressure from being, top, a GB swimming squad. And then when you get older, it's the pressures of work, it's the pressure of your body shape, your fitness, your looks, your relationships. I just think it's super important to relax. Take one day a week, an hour a week, just to sit down, read a book, listen to some music, go to a spa, go for a walk, go to the beach, whatever that might be. Just take a day out for yourself now and again and look after you, because that's just as important as everything else that you do, with the eating, the drinking, the work that you do. Relaxing is just as important. When you're struggling with your mental health, progress is something that you should monitor. I think progress is something super important, but you can only progress, I think, if you firstly open up and talk to people. And I would say, for me, I mean, I didn't keep a journal, but people around me did. My mum actually kept a journal on my behalf, and she would monitor my bad days, my good days when I first started off with mental health issues, and that helped a lot. It made me sort of realise what was sort of helping me progress, what was helping me sort of move forward from these mental barriers, and what was pushing me backwards. So I think keeping a diary, whether that be a voice note or just at the end of the day, just talking to your phone, a bit of a record, something to listen to the next day, or a bit of a diary or something. I think that's very important. That helps you realise that you are progressing, or you're going backwards. Hopefully, you're going forward. But progress is something that, it's hard to monitor, but I think it can be, and it does help a lot. Because then you can look back. I can look back on these journals from 10 years ago, and I go, I'm not that man I was 10 years ago. I know to laugh at that. I know that doesn't work, or this doesn't work, or that works. So I think that's important. Monitor your progress. I think that the whole world is one big struggle. I think that you could be going through some mental health issues and no one could know. I think that your best friend could be going through mental health issues and not know. I think your wife could, your husband could, your mum, your dad, your brothers, your kids. And there's no sort of black and white, yes or no to mental health problems. It's down to the individual. But I think it's important that there are telltale signs, and a lot of those are shyness. Shying away from social events. If you've got a friend that's all of a sudden become very quiet, very, very sort of restrictive in going out and talking, texting, calling back, I think that's a big telltale sign. It's a tough one, because sometimes you want to say something to someone, but you don't want to offend them. But I would rather be that little bit offensive and just be like, just checking you're okay. Notice not seeing you for a few weeks, not seeing you online for a few weeks. You haven't responded to my text for a few weeks. Everything okay? And I think that is a much better way of dealing with things, because nowadays, if you don't get a text back off somebody, it's like, oh, he's a knobhead. I don't want to talk to him again. But see it the other way. See it as maybe he's going through a really bad time. He's going through some really bad struggles, and keep trying, keep pecking away, because I think that's the difference between making a friend and a long-time friend. Online hate is probably one of the most devastating things in today's society for mental health. I think that people get body image, people put a picture up of themselves and somebody does comment, oh, you've got overhanging fat, or your hair's crap, or whatever. And that can, cause a real bad complex for a lot of people. Your achievements, some people might land a really good job and somebody might comment, oh, that's crap, or I did this at this age, that's no good. And I think, everyone's running their own battles. Everyone's sort of going through life stages at their own pace. And I think that people that come online to sort of hate on other people, this is how I see it. I think it says more about them than it does about you. Because if they've got the time and effort and energy to come onto the internet and literally chase people down and be negative about them and say hurtful things, just think about that for a second. Think about how sad and lonely their life is. So I always take that and I use that as positivity, as sort of say I'm doing great, It doesn't matter what anyone says. People can call me fat. People can say I'm out of shape. People can say, I don't look good or whatever, or I say whatever about me. I'll just laugh it off, because at the end of the day, I know I'm sat well. You know, I'm happy, I'm content in life. So all the negativity, honestly, I just treat it as logs to a fire. Every time I see one, I chuck another log on that fire, and all it does is make me more energized and more enthusiastic to go out and be more successful in life, just to give them the middle finger. And so, you know, you can look back and just be like, thank you for that. And I have done that in the past. I have used hate and negativity as a passion to sort of push me forward. And I've always gone back and be like, thanks for the energy, guys. So be thankful for hate sometimes, because it's what pushes us forward. It's what keeps mankind moving forward. I mean, back when, let's give you an example, when Mr. Roger Bannister was going to run the 4-minute mile, and everybody said it was impossible. Everyone said it couldn't be done. Said he was an idiot. But he went and did it. And he used all that negativity as fuel to his fire to go out and do that. And then within 2 years, I think 20 other people ran a 4-minute mile. So he set the sort of milestone for all these people to go out and do great things. And I'm sure he got great satisfaction looking back of all those people that said it couldn't be done, you know, and called him names. I'm sure he'll look back and laugh his bollocks off, because end of the day, look where he is and look where they are. Right guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm Eddie Hall, the World's Strongest Man, in collaboration with Boohoo Man, so big thank you to them. I hope you take something away from today. It's super important that we relay that message that talking, taking time for yourself and looking out for others is super important in the world, especially right now. So thank you for watching, guys. I hope you can go out and spread some positivity in the world, and keep being amazing, keep being awesome. Big love, the beast.